Hey there, so this is the tutorial on working with AdRotate and the ad positions and the advertising, the actual ads themselves. Right, so when I say ad positions are controlled by something called groups. In other words, we select where on the website we want ads to show. We've kept it fairly simple at the moment. We have the home or article leaderboard. Basically, this is the advert that shows the top of every page. I will flick over to our click over to the website where I can now show you this is the top leaderboard area over here at the top. I'll flick back to here, so that's the top one. The right hand column, tall, 300 by 600, is on the right hand column below our first set of articles. Is there, 300 by 600. We then have the right hand column rectangle 300 by 200, of which we have 1 and 2 positions that are coming up over there. 2 positions of the ad. So those will come up on the right. You can see when you scroll through, it'll be up there. We then have a post injection ad group. So that's just in the post itself. So if I go to something like honoring the individual, you'll see after 3 paragraphs, a post injection will happen. There's a 7 to 8 by 90. The post injection ad group 300 by 250 is a square that that goes into a post and is mainly seen on mobile. So I'm not sure I'll show that to you here. We then have a post injection group 300 by 600. I've said not used. No adverts are active on that one at the moment. Having a big tall one most probably might work on mobile, but it's not necessarily great. These are better. So we're going to keep that large one for the right hand side. It's 300 by 600. Next is the content banner. Mainly shows on the home page within the content area. Then we've got our 2 pop-ins. These are both on the desktop and tablet, which is the large one, and then the smaller one on mobile, and the pop-in pops in from the bottom. So these are the positions, and then adverts are assigned to these positions. I'll take you through how those work. Okay, so at the moment what we've done is we've called them by a naming principle like leaderboard, the size, client blue, so in this case we've called them names so that we knew who they were, and then also the date at which they are. At a quick view here we can see that it's set to show on devices being desktop and tablet, and you can see the difference between this 7 to 8 by 90 and the mobile ad for client blue, which is this 300 by 50, that's the mobile one, is assigned to mobile. Also shows which groups it's assigned to, and it should only show on mobile. And on this one, it's assigned, groups only assigned to the leaderboard because it's going to stop the page. So, I'll just go into an ad itself just to show how what it looks like. So naming for us is important because at some stage you might want to search by name, you might want to search by date, you might want to search by size. So for us we're keeping this naming principle going so we know which one they are. The code for a client, usually a client would send us which redirect they want the click to go to, and I'm just going to copy that out. Usually you would be using this one over here, which is the target blank, in other words, links to somebody else's site. You would simply select that on the right hand side. Let me just delete that first. You would simply select this on the right hand side. There we go. That there between the inverted commas is the link it needs to go to. Target blank, meaning it's going to open up in a new window. And this image source asset means it's this asset down here. if somebody had said, no, the source is somebody else's site, then you'd have to change that to somebody else's site. But at the moment, this is where the link click would go to. Right, so I'm just going to paste that back in. At the moment, ours are all going to the advertising page. So it says advertise here. Hopefully we get more people to click through. Here's where you select banners. So you simply select an image just like you would on others. We have set up an advertising banner folder so that we can upload media into the advertising folder. It makes it easier for us to go and choose. Then we're leaving on click counts, just so you can see how many times it's been seen. This is the banner code, which you're not going to need because it's already being handled by where it's showing. We can set up a schedule for it. So if you knew it went to the end at the end of next month, you could set it to the end of next month, or at the end of next month and a time. So for instance, I'll show you how I've done that on the Jam ads. You can also have a start time. So if, let's say they've a whole other set of these ends on the 31st of March, you can set it to the next one's start on the 1st of April. You can also do it by the maximum number of clicks, maximum number of impressions. If you're selling by impressions or clicks, at the moment we're keeping it simple. We have schedules, so you can schedule certain things to only show on certain days. At the moment, most of these we're not using, so I've set up a generic every day, and I've set up a generic fallback, which is for all the Google ads. So these two are on all the time. I'm going to suggest that most of these will delete unless you actually need one of them for something. And these will then have a schedule for an ad of which days of the week they would go on to. So let's just open one of these up just to show. A specific ad might only show up until, or a set of ads. So instead of having to do this per ad, you can set up a set of ads to show up until a certain date, or per click, whatever. So basically, just more controls on if there's a group of ads that need to show on a schedule. Otherwise, we'd actually set it up on the ad itself. Okay, so let's just go back to our adverts again. The fallbacks are set up, but not populating yet. These are the Google fallbacks, so our top Google leaderboard would automatically populate. There's the code for it. This will automatically populate from the Google engine, like they are on the current website. We're not approved yet. I'm just waiting for that approval to come through, and then these can actually go onto the site and start to have revenue. And I've assigned it to this one being the fallback non-scheduled, and assigned it to the same settings that the ad's meant to be. So this large size is not set to smartphone. I'll go through those in a moment. Let me just go back to our adverts. I'm showing you a section there that I'm jumped to. Let's go back to the leaderboard. Okay, so I got down to the section here, which is the scheduling, and then if there's an existing schedule set up. Next is this over here, which basically has the weight, so show as many times as possible, gives it a 10. Normal impressions is a 6, we notice, so this must be something like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're thinking it's that. So it would just basically saying that some might take preference over others and want to be shown more. So in this case, I put them all to many. In this case, this shows on desktop and tablets because it's the large 468 by 60. It doesn't show on smartphones. And because we're showing it on tablets, it means it can go onto any operating system as well. Geotargeting I haven't used for our ad placement, but I have used it for Jam, and I've actually selected South Africa for Jams because I only show South Africans. Then it's where it gets used. So you select the ad groups. So in this case, it's the home leaderboard that it goes on, and then that would be ad. This advert hash we're not using, so it's just an extra portability which we don't need. Okay, so let's just show you a Jam ad. I think the easiest way to do most of these would be to actually duplicate an advert. So if I go to, like I've done with these on them, is I've selected an ad and then duplicated. So if I select that one, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have selected it. I should have actually ticked the button. Let me just show you what I've done first, though. So there's the link going outbound. The target is blank. The image asset is something I've uploaded. So I've selected the banner. And because this is the 328 by 50, I'm showing it all the time, always on. All right, back to adverts. So I found that it's easiest to go to one of the ones that's already been set up for where it's going to go, and simply do a duplicate. So in the duplicate scenario, we would select an ad. Let's take this one for example. You can go to the top over here and go duplicate. Go. You can also deactivate straight from here as well. And it would create a copy. So ideally then what would happen is you'd open up the copy. You would go to the copy of, change the date to whichever it might be, and whoever the new client is. Obviously this all stays the same because that's where it's going to go. So whoever the new client is, so let's say it's Adcock, and maybe actually which campaign it will be. So let's say it's the Adcock CBD campaign. They would want wherever they wanted their content to go to, change the selected banner. And because we've copied one that already has been set to a specific either ad schedule and also where it's going to show, means that it can automatically go into all the right places rather than have to manually do that each time. So it makes it a little bit easier then to not have to go and configure each time, but let's duplicate one that is going into the same place. Yeah, so I think that's the basics of the ad setup and the different ad zones.